I'm usually not the type for these kinds of update videos, but this is a pretty important situation to give updates about. As you can see, I'm still in the hospital, right there. So I'd like to just let you know where all this started from, what happened, what's happened since then, setbacks, progress, and when things are likely to go back to normal. Wait, no, normal. So, I've had a few incidents in the past where, by the way, I'm sorry if I look really disheveled. They don't let me use any kind of products to like clean up my face or shave or like wash or comb my hair. So that's why I look even more disheveled than usual. Now, I've had a few incidents over the past few months where I'll try eating something and it'll get caught in my esophagus, by which I mean it'll just stop moving. I don't choke during it. It just becomes progressively more and more and more uncomfortable. And usually one of two things happens. One, I'll drink something that helps wash it down further. It goes all the way to the stomach, nothing to worry about. Two, the pressure builds and forces me to regurgitate that thing, and then I can try to eat again. Again, no major penalty from that. I've tried looking up this condition before, and there was one serious condition related to it, but none of the other side effects matched what I was going through. So I figured that couldn't possibly be it. Fast forward to the Thursday before April Fool's Day. So, for those who don't know, I work on April Fool's Day stuff really far in advance. I actually started working on this April Fool's Day in December of last year. So, I got everything for it. The video itself and all the tweets that went up at the same time as the video, all on the Wednesday before April Fool's. The following day, I'm having dinner with my fiance. I take a single bite of it. Not even a particularly big one. It gets stuck in my throat. And I can feel it's like really lodged in there. I tried waiting for it to pass. It doesn't. I try drinking various things for it to pass, like water, milk, soda. Nothing works. I decided to try doing that a second time, and when I do that, that apparently was enough to tip the scales for the pressure that had been building up between the lump of food in my stomach, and the force caused my esophagus to tear, and nearly blow open completely. There was a roughly inch-long tear that went almost completely through the wall of my esophagus. Sorry, I'll explain why I have to keep doing this. And that was the most pain I have ever been in my entire life. I was just writhing on the bathroom, not screaming because that took too much energy, but just moaning as loud as I could and clutching at my chest/stomach. My fiance's there the entire time, trying to figure out what the hell is going on. She may have been asking if she should call 911. I don't know. I gather myself up. I'm on my knees. I lean over the toilet to try and retch. And in the process of doing that, I spit up a huge gob of blood. Fresh blood. This scares the ever-loving shit out of my fiance. So, at that point, there is no question about it. I am going to the emergency room. So, she goes to get her car ready. Using my phone, the GPS on my phone, I should say. We find the ER. She hauls me into the passenger seat, hauls me out of the passenger seat. I am so delirious from the pain that at times I can't walk. I'm sorry if I have to pause a couple of times. We get through the doors of the ER and I just kind of collapse. She'd given me a trash bin that I could use in case I started retching again. I was using it as a walking cane. They loaded me up with painkillers just to the point that I would be able to form some kind of an intelligent response to the questions they were asking me. Now, because he's local, my older brother joins us, and he has the dual task of answering additional questions for the doctors and also trying to console my fiance, who's quite clearly panicking. It's no question at this point that I have to go to a hospital and I more than likely need surgery for what's going on. Whatever is going on. We hadn't completely confirmed it at this point. So, they try to find the right balance between driving really, really, really fast and driving safely to the hospital that was recommended. It was a hospital that actually had a ward that specialized in thoracic and abdominal injuries. I end up there. I am pumped full of even more painkillers. Series of scans and x-rays are carried out, and that's where it's confirmed that there's a so-sized tear in the esophagus. However, they say it doesn't go all the way through. So, they have an idea. They tell me on Friday, so this is the day after the incident, they're going to use this, I can't remember the tech term for it. It's basically a sponge, which they would put over the top of the wound to protect it and give it time to heal without interruption. And then there's a tube that goes into the sponge, which they can either pump with antibiotics or used to suck out anything that gets to the sponge that shouldn't, or just waste in general, I suppose. Now, I should note that at this point, despite the amount of pain I was still in, even with the painkillers, I could still get up a little bit, walk around the patient's room a little bit. But after the procedure happens, which is where they shove the tube and the sponge down my throat, I am all but immobilized. Like, I still have the ability to move my arms and legs and stuff. However, because of the rigidity of the tube, I can't really flex or bend my torso, and I can't have much flexing or bending in my neck. And the plan is, they're just going to leave that as is for a few days. Because they have no idea how long it's going to take to heal. It's different for every person. And then, I think it was Sunday. So, this would be 3 days after the accident and 2 days after the procedure. They had been giving me daily x-rays to that point. They do another one on Sunday, and they realize there's fluid collecting in my lungs, and it's due to an infection. Sorry, talking can be a little exhausting. On top of it now affecting a different part of my body, it's clearly impacting my ability to breathe. Or as they phrased it, my ability to live. So they were going to do a checkup procedure on the following Wednesday. They bumped that up to a must-be-done surgery the following day, which is Tuesday. So I was perhaps naively optimistic that I could be out of there in about 6 days. After this procedure, which was, by the way, the first going under the knife and cutting you open kind of surgery I've ever had in my life. But after that, like 3 or 4 hours later, which is how long the procedure took, I realize I'm going to be here much longer. Sorry, I should mention that ever since the accident happened, I have not been able to eat or drink anything by mouth. Everything has been by an intravenous drip or an IV. Now, there is good news. I didn't record this to scare people. I just wanted to give an update. The good news is that as of my recording this, I think it just became Saturday, April 8th. The procedure happened on, I can't math at this hour, like 5 days ago. Since that day, a lot of good things have happened. There's no fluid in my lungs anymore. My lung capacity is slowly coming back. The why am I blanking on the name of this? I'll probably remember it later and then post it on Twitter or something. Oh, my mobility is slowly coming back. It started with just standing up and sitting down at the edge of the bed, but I'm able to like stand up under my own power, stand in place for a few minutes, move to a chair under my own power, and sit under my own power. I spend the majority of days sitting instead of laying on my back now, which is good because like aside from being a person who just isn't as comfortable laying as sitting or standing, I don't think the beds here are that comfortable. But again, I don't know how long it's going to be until I finally get out of here. Because they need to make sure that I'm basically able to do all of what I could do before I got here to some degree. Like, they're not going to make sure my 40-year dash time is the same, but they do want to make sure I can get up, move around, go downstairs, go upstairs, perhaps not immediately, but drive a car, do all the things I could in my daily life, particularly the ones that were important to my family or to work. And I think, as dumb as it sounds, one of the things I was least prepared for in all this was the amount of support I would get. I mean, family, friends, that's a given, but the amount of people outside of that who have reached out and wished me the best, or said they were thanking me, thanks. Now, the big downside of this is I'm missing a ton of work. That said, I'm not doing any GoFundMe shit. I refuse. But I will be around. I'm absolutely going to post about when I do get out of here. So, that'll probably be the next thing you see output from this channel. Take care.